come with me. My hands are shaking. After way too long, I just received a text this morning that we were approved for a precious little girl in Bulgaria who gets to come join our family. No one knows. You get to come along with me to tell my husband, my kids. Let's go.
We are. Are you serious?
Yes. She texted me at 5:38 this morning, but I didn't get it till I got up at 6:38 or 6:30. And I didn't tell nobody.
So you remember how we adopted you? Yeah? And we adopted Izzy? Yeah? You want to adopt another little girl? You want to see her? You want to see her?
That's going to be your sister. Is she cute? Yeah. Okay, we have something to tell y'all first. We got the approval.
Wait, so when are y'all going? You can see her.
Tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, Andrea, you're taking care of Izzy.
Y'all are adopting her?
Yes!
Yay!
We just found out this morning.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. What's up?
I was just going to tell you we got Joy. Yeah. We found out this morning.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
And see, Stan doesn't ever come into the picture unless there's a baby involved.
I told you.
Yes, so we got the approval this morning to adopt that little girl.
Hey! All right.
Can y'all even believe it? I mean, it's about damn time. That song, you know? Okay, yeah, I'm going off of that. I cannot even believe that we finally, maybe possibly seeing a light at the end of the tunnel with this adoption. It's just such a relief to know that we finally got approval for Sweet Girl. You might have heard in the video that I just shared, we referred to her as Joy. So that's not going to be her name. So adoption agencies and advocacy efforts, you cannot publicly say the child's birth name or birth date. And so these adoption agencies will give each child just an advocacy name. And they named her Joy. So that is not her birth name. And I don't think that that's the name that we're going to stick with. I think Stan and I were both pretty like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that that's the name. But regardless, we're so excited. So very excited. Okay, so let me tell you about the day and how it happened, okay? So our caseworker at our adoption agency is amazing. And she literally was getting up in the middle of the night to check her emails to see if we had gotten news. Every day she was doing that. And then she would text me and say, no news, you know. So just getting text after text of like no news is just disheartening, right? And so then you just kind of prepare yourself like, okay, we're just not going to get news for another month. But this past Friday, I opened my eyes at 6:38 to be exact, and looked at my phone, and I could see that I had a message from our caseworker. And when I opened it, I could see that it was a long message. So immediately my heart started racing. I had to get my reading glasses on, so I fumbled on the table, got my reading glasses on, and read that the MOJ finally made their decision. We have been approved to bring her into our family. She's ours. We're so excited. So I wanted to cry and wanted to scream and, you know, wanted to be super excited, but I couldn't because Jackson was awake in the living room. And at this point, Stan had already gone to work. So I woke up and I get this exciting news, but I can't let Jackson see my excitement because I wanted to tell the family all together. But of course I had to tell Stan first because there's no way I was going to go throughout the day without having told him, right? So I got out of bed and I'm hurrying around because I have to get Jackson to driver's ed, and then I had to come back home really quickly and get the girls ready for therapy. So I took Jack to driver's ed, came back home. I was busting at the seams. I still couldn't show my excitement or emotions because then Emerson was up when I got back home. I couldn't let her see it. So I had to hurry up. I was like, I've got like, I don't know, 30 or 45 minutes where I had to get Isabel and Mika dressed and out the door. But in that time, Isabel's hitting the couch with her foot. So that's the banging that you hear. So in that short amount of time, I was like, how can I get Stan home to tell him the news? Because I've got to tell somebody. So on the way, when I took Jackson to driver's ed, we have a donut shop near us. And so we stopped and got him some donuts for breakfast. And on the way back, I was like, you know what? Stan loves donuts. I mean, we all love those donuts. They're so amazing. I was like, let me just stop and grab a few donuts. I could put the donuts in this little white box that Jackson's donuts came in, and I could easily get Stan to come home. And so I went back by the donut shop, got 3 more donuts, came home real quick, and I texted Stan. I was like, hey, can you run home real quick? We've got more adoption paperwork to sign, and I got donuts if you want some. And he was sitting very near our house, so he literally was home in like a minute and a half or so. And in that time, I just got the white box and I just put "we are approved" on it. You know, I just kind of had to do something quick, but hey, I thought that was decently creative considering how quick I had to do this. I was still just trying to wake up, but yet I had all this excitement inside, but I had to hide it from everyone. So I called Stan home, and as you saw the video where he found out, and so just so excited. And I was glad. I was like, okay, I told him. I'm like, but now we can't tell anybody for the rest of the day. So I have to go throughout my day not telling anyone this news. Jackson was at driver's ed, and he was having his very last final exam, and I was a nervous wreck about that final exam. He and I had studied a whole lot the night before, and I was just really anxious for him. And so, as you can imagine, I had like a lump in my throat waiting to see how well Jackson did on his driver's ed exam. And I had a lump in my throat about what I just found out, and I couldn't tell anyone. And now, like, I cannot believe that we just got this news. I can't believe we finally found out that we are approved for this little girl. So throughout this, you know, I'm nervous about Jackson and driver's ed, and I go pick him up at 2:30, and he got in the van, and he was like, I passed. And I just busted out crying. And he was like, Mom, why are you crying? And of course, I was just so excited that he passed and did really well on the exam. Was the first one finished. I mean, he just really did great. But also it was partly the emotions coming out about this adoption. And so I just had to contain. He's like, Mom, why are you crying? I'm like, I'm just so excited. I was so nervous all day long. He's like, it's okay, Mom. I did good. I was like, oh my God. It's just a huge sigh of relief. So I go throughout the day, a busy day. And I just casually texted all the big kids. And I was like, hey, after the nursing home, I don't feel like cooking tonight. Do y'all want to swing by and I'll just pick up something for all of us to eat? And they were like, heck yeah, free food. So I said, okay, well, come on over at 7. So I went to the nursing home. Again, I didn't tell anyone at the nursing home. Spent time with my mother-in-law. So I left the nursing home just a few minutes early, ran by KFC. We eat there maybe once every 2 years, but it sounded good. Someone mentioned it, and I was like, well, they have those big family meals. Let me run by there. And so I came home really quickly. Again, when I got home, Stan came up to me and hugged me, and I was like, don't hug me. I'm going to start to cry. And Rainey was already here, and Emerson, and I was like, I can't blow it at the last minute. So I laid all the food out, sat in the dining room, because y'all know that I just kind of got all that together, and we hadn't really had a family meal in here. So they all got here, and they're like, oh wow, we're sitting in the dining room, and you know, I had everything lined up, and I said, yeah, I haven't sat in here yet, and I want to have a family dinner in here. So anyways, right before we sat down to eat, y'all saw the video. I told everyone, and look, I uploaded the video to like TikTok and Instagram, and I had several people ask if like Jackson and Grayson, if they were okay and are they even excited about this, because their expressions were less than enthusiastic. However, they are very excited. Jackson's just a 15-year-old, and he was like, I don't know, what did you want me to do? I'm like, well, just smile or something. And then Grayson is not very expressive with excitement and things like that. But they both are very excited, and their expression doesn't at all equal out to the excitement they do have in bringing home a new little one. So some of y'all may have noticed their expressions were less than exciting, but that's okay. They're young men. It's okay. But everyone is very excited. So we tried to FaceTime the family that we could that day. I mean, y'all, I was hitting the ground running that day. I couldn't have fit in one more phone call, one more thing that day. I was just spinning. Okay, so I know that all of you are probably like, okay, when can you travel? Okay, so normally, once you receive approval, that yes, you can adopt this child, which is what we just received, within 4 weeks, you're on a plane going to Bulgaria for trip 1. It takes 2 trips in this adoption process to Bulgaria. Like China was 1 trip and the Philippines was 1 trip, but with Bulgaria it's 2 trips. So normally we would be on an airplane in just a couple weeks. Well, lucky us, because why not? You know, I just feel like this journey has been full of just a roller coaster ride of just paperwork needed, paperwork not done, waiting on answers, just the whole, it just is what an adoption is. It's just the name of the game. But lucky us, we just found out that our current immigration approval and our current home study is about to expire on November 5th. So I had to text our social worker, and I was like, Kimberly, girl, here's the situation. Can we get a home study update completed and submitted to USCIS within 2 weeks? And she goes, oh, girl. She's like, yes, we can do it. She's like, I'll do whatever I can. And thankfully, she was off work that entire week. So literally 2 days later, she was at our house. We had started all the things that we needed to get done. I mean, that all includes, I'm out of breath, y'all. That includes like a letter from our bank saying we're in good standing, tax returns, employment letter for Stan. All of us in the entire family, meaning the ones that live under my roof now, we all had to have wellness checkups. Our dog had to go to the vet. We had to get state clearances, fingerprints. So an update is obviously easier than just starting from scratch, but it's still a lot of work. So I guess it was all last week. I was just running, getting all that done, because there's one thing about us Felts people. When it comes to adoption, like, we don't wait around. We're not slow with paperwork. We try to stay 2 steps ahead, and we move and groove like real quick. And so that is exactly what we did. I think I had everything completed. Within like 4 days. And then we had to wait for Jackson's medical. It was the last thing to be done. And then today I had to send something off, which was just a shenanigan too, but I won't get into all of that. But needless to say, y'all, we are really working hard to get the home study and new immigration request sent in by next Friday, which would be October 31st. And I really want it sent in, honestly, by the 28th, Tuesday. So the timeline in which it takes for USCIS to approve that is normally quicker than like a whole new submission of a whole new immigration, something brand new. Since this is just an extension of what we have, the approvals normally come quicker, but it's still the government and you still have no idea. It may be 2 weeks, it may be 2 months. So we are being very hopeful, and we have our fingers and everything crossed that mid to late December we could travel for trip 1. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. I just have no idea. But anyway, so we'll go for trip 1. We'll spend, I think, about a week in Bulgaria, and that trip is to just meet her, get to know her, and bond with her. And then sadly, we have to leave her there. We have to come back home and process more immigration that's specific to her. And then she will get like her visa, her passport and things over there. So trip 2 probably won't come for about 4 to 6 months after trip 1. So in the spring, we're looking to actually bring her home. And in that trip, it will last about 10 days. And, you know, we'll have to fully adopt her over there, which just is several, you know, you get several meetings in different areas of Bulgaria, and which is why the trip is a little bit longer that go around. And then we get to bring her home for good. So it's still a process, y'all, but we know who's coming into our family, and we're so very excited. And yeah, so that's it. I mean, I could tell you more about her, but I feel like this video is going to get long. So in the next video or two, we'll definitely talk about fundraising, because we still have a good bit of money that we have to raise to fully fund this adoption. And then I will tell you a little bit more about her. I can't show her picture yet and things like that, but I'll expand more on what her challenges are, and just about her little life as much as I can. So anyways, we're so excited. So excited. Nervous too. Nervous about how we're going to do it all. But you know, it's just like everything else in life. You just roll with the punches. You figure it out as you go. We are very capable of taking on another child, even a child with significant special needs. But we are ready, willing, able, and very excited to do that. And while I don't have all the answers right now, the Lord will sustain us in the hard times. He will give us direction. He will give us answers when we need them as to how to navigate this whole new journey with this sweet little girl. So I'm so excited. But anyways, I just wanted to share all of that with you. Thank you all so much for being so supportive of us. I'm going to wrap this video up, and we will definitely see you on the next video. Bye.